Hey everybody, today's date is December 17th, 2024, and I'm going to do just a very brief in a moment. It has been a long day. It's 10:30 and this day actually started for me at about 3:45 this morning. I did intend to go live yesterday, but as it was quite emotional, if there's anything that I've learned in this process, this fight to freedom, this journey I've been on as a mom for my children, is to know thyself. And yesterday, as I was kind of getting email communications and follow up on very highly legal, contentious past couple of weeks, I just knew that I wasn't in a place where it would be wise for me to go live yesterday. I needed to just kind of process and deal with my emotions. So that said, I said that I was going to do a better job staying in contact and giving people updates on what is happening in the journey. And so I wanted to make sure I at least did that today. And so just wanted to take a brief moment to say this was a difficult day. Again, started at 3:45 because while I'm still fully and totally in the battle for my baby girl, as many of you know, my son, one of my sons, Josh, passed allegedly April 4th of this year, so about 8.5 months ago. And I don't want to get into all the details as to why this is occurring, except to say this is another perfect example of how I think many of us just assume that if we've been parents, taking care of our children their whole life, right? And of course, when they get older, they, do their own. Josh was definitely gainfully employed, working multiple jobs, gigs, taking care of himself, but meaning, in his formative years, being able to be mom and just take care of things that is normal, right? The same types of things that I'm fighting to be able to do for my daughter. A lot of us assume that once our children turn 18, we're going to continue to have those rights and abilities if, heaven forbid, they precede us in no longer being here. But the reality is, if there is not a will in place, if they haven't, named beneficiaries to various different policies, if they haven't, done estate planning, and this is not just our children, but this is us too, unfortunately, it can open the door for a lot of different dynamics that are not expected, that nobody is really planned for, and can just kind of make things a lot more painful. And so without getting into all the details, I'll just say 8.5 months later, because the other thing I will say is, over 50% of families, unfortunately, do end in divorce, which means there's maternal side, paternal side. Oftentimes, that's the dynamic. I know there's other arrangements these days as well, other types of families, compositions. But in the event that even post-divorce, maybe both parents weren't even actively a part of a child's life the same, if that adult 18 plus year old child passes again without an estate in place, again, both parents will have equal rights to make decisions about what happens, what doesn't happen, with everything from are they cremated, are they buried, what happens with assets, who gets paid, who's handling affairs. I mean, it just becomes a whole big dynamic that then has to get sorted out in the courts. So while I'm in the midst of definitely continuing to move forward with everything that I'm dealing with for my daughter, that's what I was dealing with today. And finally getting the legal rights to be recognized as mom again. to be able to now start the closure process and move forward in being able to fully honor and appropriately address getting a consistent story, consistent finding on what happened to my son, and then also being able to lay him to rest. Not just me as a mom, but he's got siblings, he's got other family and other people that loved him, that do love him, and closure is important when we lose people. And so that is what I need to deal with today. I did a post earlier this morning that said that, I really couldn't announce anything till probably a good 10 hours from now, and that's what that was. And so I've gotten that done. And then as far as the battle for my daughter, I just wanted to say thank you because we hit a huge milestone today. Initially, when I was punished for protecting and still unlawfully, illegally detained, one of my sons started a GoFundMe, and you all have been giving generously and greatly. And again, I really appreciate each and every person that has given, that has shared everything that you all have done so that I can continue to engage in this fight to freedom and protection for my daughter, protection of our parent-child relationship and her relationship with her maternal side, all of us. Thank you for, again, your gifts, because we reached a third of the way to our goal. It was set up for 15,000. And this is yes, I have spoken with multiple attorneys that are seasoned in all the family law, criminal law, CPS matters. It's different bodies of law, a lot of similarities, but definitely differences. How do they work together? How do they intertwine? All family law attorneys don't do that. And we have a very extensive, long, complex case. And so that said, really seasoned, credible attorneys that I've spoken with that practice in our jurisdiction, where I do have a temporary orders hearing coming up January 29th. And just connected with opposing counsel today. Looks like we've agreed on April 10th for final trial. Seasoned, really good attorneys to be able to assist and help are asking 10, 15,000 just to even get caught up and review all the case history. I remember I spoke with one I was really excited about here a couple months back. And while she is a quality attorney, former prosecutor, would love to hire her, 10 grand. And she just said, honestly, you've got a proceeding coming up in 12 days, but it'll probably take 10 grand just to even get through the case history, as voluminous as it is. So all of that said, I don't want to harp on it too long. People know that attorneys are expensive. Yes, in my professional world, I help people get affordable access to attorneys literally for every aspect of your life. We say, take it out of your stress bucket, put it in your legal services bucket that we offer. At the same time, family law is a whole nother beast, a whole nother giant. And, it's not something that they can do for a very low monthly fee, even though we do have expert, top quality attorneys, average 22 years nationwide and also in Canada. Definitely great discounts available to make them more affordable. But, family law is just one of those dynamics that is just outrageous and unlike any other form of law. And anyone that's ever been involved, they know that is exactly how most attorneys and individuals would characterize it. And so that said, we're a third of the way there. And so we hit 5,000 today. I thank you all so much for that. I hope that you all will continue to share. At this point, now that I've been able to kind of get out, get back to life, get caught up, obviously, while not able to work and manage affairs, there was a lot of those dynamics going on and just recuperating and us catching our breath from, the 2 weeks. But now that that's done, I'm getting back to work while I'm also still pro se, my own attorney in the legal matters. And so now 100% of that can go towards attorney's fees. I do have an expert that came forward, subject matter expert witness that lives across the country that we need to get here for proceedings that are coming up. It's going to be very important just because of the abuser playbook. Been talking a lot about that. And then also transcripts, right? Some of you are familiar, not all of you are familiar, that when you go into the courtroom, oftentimes there is no recording allowed. And in order to be able to appeal a case or just to even prove what was said by different witnesses and certain parties, you have to have transcripts, and they are not cheap. And so the proceeding that we had, just days ago, last week, well, I don't need to get into all the details, but just say 700 to 1,500 is a real reality for transcripts, even for hearings that are supposed to be 20 minutes aside. And so they're very expensive. And so 100% of all funds raised can now go just towards legal expenses. And definitely appreciate your continued support as I stay in the battle to continue to keep fighting. I do see, thank you so much, Superhero Mom. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. I see some other messages here, but I think I might accidentally mess things up. I know my battery is also running low on my phone. A lot of driving today. And also just dealing with some other transitions and just a lot going on. So just wanted to say thank you for continuing to be supportive. Definitely for all of you that were standing by this morning. Again, those of you that have been around for a while, you know a lot of the dynamics in that situation. And so really appreciate you all staying present, staying available, and being a phenomenal support. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close this live down, and hopefully we'll be able to be back tomorrow with some more information. I'm actually considering sharing some things that, again, not as legal advice, but educationally, with people that I've been talking with that have been reaching out, think would probably be beneficial, especially for those that are in Texas, because a lot of it pertains to Texas laws and dynamics and things of that nature. I am considering trying to get that done tomorrow. So I will give you all a heads up if I'm able to make that happen. But for now, just wanted to make sure that I came on and said thank you. We hit a milestone. Also let you all know, definitely please be praying with me as far as, now moving forward for the closure process for my son, Josh. And yeah, I'll look forward to reconnecting again soon. I trust and hope you all have had a terrific Tuesday and that you have a wonderful Wednesday tomorrow until we meet and connect again. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.